Hi everyone. It is a very blustery and chilly 49 degrees here in suburban New Jersey. It is absolutely gorgeous though, and the garden is still thriving. And I was just heading back to harvest some fresh lettuce from the garden, and I could not resist having video of this absolutely beautiful sky today. It is just quite blustery and windy, but I have to be honest, I really enjoy this weather. So I have just come back from shopping at Wegmans and Costco to gather the fresh food that we get at the stores to supplement what we already grow here in our garden. And it's horrifying to actually say there was still no spinach at Costco. There was spinach at Wegmans, but the containers are very small and it's very expensive. And I'm so grateful to say I'm actually growing my own spinach now. It is spinach season here in New Jersey. The weather is chilly and it grows and germinates very, very well now. So while everyone else in the store today was gathering turkeys and potatoes and canned gravy, I was thinking, well, I'm going to go home and I'm going to harvest my own fresh spinach, and I'll be preparing a meal with that. So I've just come out to harvest some lettuce for my daily meal and have an inspection of what's going to be available for us to eat fresh from the garden here over the next few weeks. It's almost the end of November, of course, since I'm talking about Thanksgiving. And so many people ask us, so you're vegetarian, do you celebrate Thanksgiving? And the truth of the matter is, we honestly don't celebrate traditional Thanksgiving anymore. We haven't had a traditional Thanksgiving meal since, I don't know, maybe 2009 maybe. We don't eat any meat. And for a few years, I did make a more elaborate meal on Thanksgiving just to stay in the tradition of things. But you know, it's very stressful on Thanksgiving, and you find yourself making things to eat and consuming calories and fat that you don't really need, and you're doing it almost because the calendar tells you to. So basically, it's just my husband and I, and we don't eat all of those things anymore. So we celebrate things a little bit differently. When it's Thanksgiving for the average American here, we embrace the fact that we give thanks to the garden. We give thanks to the earth for the beautiful natural supplements of food that we have, and we're able to come out here and eat things to enrich our health and enrich our life, and our gratitude and thanks is on a different level. So check it out, my lettuce is doing really, really well, and this is right now a big part of our diet. Well, it doesn't offer a tremendous amount of nutrition. These darker lettuces do offer some antioxidants, and while they are not an actual, part of our what we consider our nutritional supplement, it sure is delicious in the salad, and it's beautiful and fresh, and it's growing so beautifully out here. I highly recommend these cute little greenhouse covers that go over these little metal hoops to keep your salad greens safe from the frost, because it has been dipping down quite a bit in the evenings. So I think one of the things that I'll be harvesting for our meal next Thursday, which I don't even like to call Thanksgiving dinner, is going to be some of those beautiful red radishes that are growing. It's a shame that my broccoli here will not be ready in time, but look, it's actually a little broccoli floret. How exciting is that? There should be some cauliflower coming up in here somewhere as well, and I'm hoping that my Brussels sprouts start to Brussels sprout pretty soon, because I would like to have some. So we are still very, very, very far behind on actually getting everything cleared out here. We've been busy working on the greenhouse. Isn't she cute? Lots and lots of problems with the greenhouse. Well, not problems, it was just some complications. It was a situation, but we're getting it remedied, and we hope to revisit that this weekend. I'm waiting patiently for my beautiful carrots here to start to crown, and they'll still be a ways off, but I do have some other stuff that I can
come out and harvest today.
Yeah, so we have the conversation with folks when they're asking us, about celebrating Thanksgiving and what it is that we eat. I will prepare probably some yams, some green beans that we grew here in the garden over summer that I've processed and frozen, and I will saute them with fresh garlic, some thyme, some oregano, and some toasted slivered almonds, like a green bean almondine almost. So that with the yams, and we will have corn on the cob that we grew here in our garden over the summer, and that again was also processed the moment it came off of its stalks, and it was put in the freezer. And when we defrost that and we caramelize it with butter, it's absolutely delicious and fresh, and you would never know that it's been in the freezer for several months. And I'll probably make some spinach as well. So even though we have spinach every day raw, we also enjoy having spinach sauteed with some garlic and a little sea salt and pepper and olive oil on the side, and it takes on a very meaty flavor, and it's very, very satisfying because of all the iron. So I'm going to show you how well my spinach is doing today.
Wow, look at my gorgeous spinach. This is the D'Inverno cultivar, which is new for me this year. It's doing really, really well. I think I will be growing this variety again as soon as I can sow it. We have plenty of self-sowed petunia volunteers that are still insisting that they're going to be something. This garden is a mess right now, but in that mess it's beautiful because I can see that everything wants to grow. So we will be treating them as weeds a little bit. So we will be getting all this mess cleaned up, but I will never let this happen again. What a mess to have to deal with. At least it's going to be a beautiful mess when it finally blooms. This is the Bloomsdale long-standing variety of spinach, and both of these varieties I'm growing from Baker's Creek heirloom seeds. So I'm going to give this a little bit of a harvest today as well because the temperatures are dropping down so much. Once I wash this and dry it properly, which is the key to storing spinach, I will put it in an airtight container and it will be good for at least 2 weeks. I'll also be harvesting some kale, which is delicious in a garlic mix as well. So I have several varieties of that going. Look, all my lettuce is doing good. Oh, and a funny thing, we had lettuce growing back here and we let it go to seed, and it sowed itself everywhere. So I'm going to let these volunteers be what they are in this beautiful mess. And once they get big enough, I'm just going to go ahead and harvest them as full heads. So also over here, this is something that I might do instead of having the yams, which I bake like a sweet potato and I'll put a little brown sugar and cinnamon in it. I might do beautiful rutabagas instead. Oh my goodness, aren't they absolutely gorgeous? I know I showed these to you in the last video, but I'm very, very proud of them. And now that they're crowning, it'll be almost time for me to harvest them. And then over here, I'm waiting for my turnips. They're still a little bit tiny, so they'll be coming up soon. And my daikon over here is still doing extraordinarily well, and I can see that there's a lot of beautiful Sichuan red radishes to be pulled. And here is another row of spinach that's coming up. So I have radishes popping up, lots and lots of radishes. Oh, and my cabbage is doing really well too. So I cannot wait for these cabbages to head because I've never grown cabbage before. Here's my red cabbages, which I do eat every single day. We have red cabbage raw in our salad, so I'm super excited about that. And then these little tiny sprouts here is a cultivar of spinach called Giant Noble Spinach. So I will also be looking forward to that. I also wanted to show you this beautiful little new addition to the garden, which is called Mizuna. And this was sent to us as a free packet of seeds from Baker's Creek Heirloom Seeds in our last order. And I had placed several orders after that, and they just kept sending me this Mizuna. And I was so upset because I had no idea what it is. But I've been harvesting this as a raw leafy green to go into our salads. And it has a peppery flavor, not quite as pungent as arugula, but it is still very, very flavorful and tender when harvested young. So I'm going to be growing this. I actually really like it. I'll show you the packet to add what it looks like so you can see if you actually decide that you ever want to order it.
So hopefully soon I'll be recording videos inside of my cute little greenhouse once we get our little situations ironed out with it. We did have to wait for some more parts to come in the mail. It's just been a very, very difficult time. It's a very cute little greenhouse, but it was a bit of a nuisance to put up, and while I absolutely love it and I want to embrace everything that it is, I will be growing inside of it. We're just trying to digest some of the experience that we had with it, and some of the delays that have just caused us a serious setback. So we still have a lot of landscaping to do around it, and we did put in a rough floor inside of it, which is just pavers and pea gravel, but we had to wait for a few parts that we have to install up on the roofing before we can finish sealing it, which is going to be difficult in these blustery cold temperatures, and then we can go ahead and install the shelving inside of it. So a completed greenhouse video is coming very, very soon, but the landscaping is going to be a different adventure. So anyway, you guys, thanks for stopping in again to see us at our backyard garden. And again, my name is Lee. If this is your first time stopping here, I sure hope that you will consider subscribing. We have a lot of interesting construction of the garden happening in the springtime that'll be coming up, so it will still be a full year of planning and gardening videos, because the garden is an always thing. It's not just for the summer. So even though we're in New Jersey, there's always an opportunity to grow something. So if you are a first-time gardener and you're looking for ideas and that's why you stopped in here, just keep in mind that the garden is perpetual, and even though she may sleep for a while in the coldest of temperatures, there are measures that you can take to grow things all year long, or for most of the year anyway, if the weather is kind enough to allow you. So anyway, you guys, I want to say thanks again for stopping in to see us. I hope you'll subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.